Yo, people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's been a busy couple of days, busy couple of hours, man. I just want to say the football Twitter sphere has gone into overdrive the last 24 hours. It's been insane. It's been absolutely insane. We've seen Paqueta being touted for £88 million moves to Man City, West Ham knocking back those bids. We've seen Caicedo subject of a £111 million bid from Liverpool. It looked like Liverpool was stealing the march on Chelsea, who stole the march on Liverpool when they bid 48 million for Lavia, but that bid got rejected. To now we're hearing that Caicedo only wants to go to only wants to go to Chelsea. So now Chelsea are scrambling and looking to try and put the money up to get Caicedo to Stamford Bridge. It's been nuts. And amidst all of that, of course, we've got the main news that I care about, which is Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. Harry Kane's move has been given the here we go by Fabrizio Romano. Harry Kane is set to sign for Bayern Munich. The fee initially reported was over £100 million, right? So I think Fab was saying that it was worth 120 million euros in total. So 100 million euros fixed fee and 20 million euros in add-ons. Listen, how rude of me anyway. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Please, people, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure your post notifications are turned on. I'm literally like 90 away from 14k. So people, please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and please get a brother to 14k, please, hopefully before the end of the stream. But yeah, with that being said, it's been a crazy couple of hours for football. I can't lie, it's been nuts. Obviously, Harry Kane's deal represents the biggest deal so far, but it depends on what happens with Caicedo, right? Now, obviously, before I talk on Harry Kane, yeah, the Twitter sphere has just gone into overdrive, honestly. Like the amount of people I'm dunking on. I was dunking on Grizz yesterday. Matisse was dunking on me for Kane. Hugh's dunking on me for Kane. Turkey's dunking on me. Scott Fogman's dunking on me. But then now I'm dunking on Grizz. Now I'm propelling Matisse. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, man. And I just want to say, yes, this ideally is meant to be a Brentford preview, but this stream is not just solely about Brentford, right? These previews, I'm not going to use it to just solely talk about the opposition. I'll leave the opposition talk to the end. These streams are going to be used as a medium for me to talk about just the general gist in the land of Spurs, what's on the horizon, and any topical news, and then I'll go into the actual opposition itself. But yeah, people, thanks for tuning in, and just keep sending the support where you can, please. Thank you. I'm just creating this banner now. For 1 second, I want to move to Bayern. Yeah. Okay, cool. So people can see it, right? Anyway, let's get back on Spurs, because it's a crazy world. I'm sure by the end of the stream there'll be another twist to the Caicedo news, and I'm sure Chelsea would have come up with the funds anyway, right? But all I know is next Monday's episode of the Big Six, you do not want to miss that, right? In addition to subscribing to this channel, make sure you subscribe to the Big Six official channel. Yeah, remember, we have moved over from Turkish's channel to our official channel. That's where we're going to be doing our streams throughout this upcoming season and going forward. So make sure you are subbed to this channel, turn your post notifications on to this channel, and also turn your post notifications on to the Big Six channel and sub to that channel, because I promise you this Monday's episode is going to be a blockbuster ep. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. And bearing in mind, Liverpool are playing Chelsea. Can you imagine? Caicedo is on the verge of snubbing Liverpool to go to Chelsea after talking to Chelsea for the whole summer, only for Liverpool to come in and make a bid where it looked like he was set to go to Liverpool. And they're playing each other this Sunday. They're playing each other this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. I'm telling you, people, honestly, You have to tune into Monday stream. You must. I'm telling you, you must tune into Monday stream. You do not want to miss that. Oh my goodness. The Big Six on Monday. In fact, it's not even Monday. It's Tuesday. Sorry. Ignore what I said about Monday. It's Tuesday. Monday, Man United play Wolves. So we are not recording on Monday. We're going to be recording on Tuesday evening. Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. The Big Six official channel. You do not want to miss that. Liverpool, they said. Where is the pool? Where is the pool? But anyway, enough about Liverpool. Enough about Chelsea. Enough about Caicedo. Let's get back on topic, Spurs. Now, since I spoke to you guys yesterday, there's been some updates in the Harry Kane news. Harry Kane is obviously on his way to Munich now to undergo his medical. And according to Paul O'Keefe, the deal should be completed and confirmed by Saturday morning, right? Now, as I've said, I've wrote some notes down so I can attack this from a structured point of view, right? So for me, I just want to set a couple of things straight because I was up till like 3:45 a.m. yesterday. Yes, I was watching a lot of Harry Kane comps. Sue me. I love Harry Kane. I think he's a fantastic player and I love the service that he's been able to give to our club. But he's leaving. So yeah, naturally, I was in my feels. I'm not going to lie. So I was watching a couple of Harry Kane comps, right? And you see, that's why I was up tweeting at like crazy hours in the morning. Yeah. But whilst I was tweeting, I was seeing a lot of stuff about how Spurs chose to sell Harry Kane at this stage of the window, how it's our choice it was our choice to sort of let this drag and drag and drag and drag. And I just want to make people just use common sense here, right? I want people to challenge themselves and use common sense here, right? Bayern Munich's first bid reported was back in June. That was a bid of around £60 million. Spurs' target price has always been clear. It's always been clear. You have to be operating in and around the £100 million ball mark or higher to even get this to a point where Spurs can consider accepting, right? Bayern Munich came in with a derisory £60 million bid, including add-ons. It got rejected. They then came in with a £70 million bid. A couple of weeks later, it got rejected. They then came in with a bid that was reportedly around 100 million euros just a week ago. In fact, just a matter of 4 or 5 days ago, it got rejected. It got rejected. So I don't understand how people are putting the onus on the club here. Bayern Munich are the ones that are the bidding club. They want the player. Harry Kane has already made his intentions clear. He couldn't have been more clear. He was never going to sign a new deal at this club, right? He was never going to sign a new deal. I think if Spurs fans who believe that he was going to stay for one more season could remove their emotion away from it, they would have seen that. The fact that this guy hadn't signed a new deal was telling. The fact that this guy was running his contract down to the last 12 months, it was telling, right? The fact that this guy was openly inviting Bayern to make more bids, it was telling. The fact that this guy was basically, his camp were basically putting out feelers that a decision needs to be made on his future this week was telling. It was telling, right? And it all pointed to the signs of a player who has grown disillusioned with life at Spurs because of the way in which the club has been run. Absolutely. If you want to blame Daniel Levy for Kane leaving, agreed. I'm with you. And absolutely, we must keep our foot on their necks. They are the reason why Harry Kane's leaving in the first place. They are the reason why the club has been allowed to crumble from the progress that Pochettino was able to build with the rest of the team that we had a couple of years back. They're the reasons for that. And absolutely, we must maintain pressure on the club to spend this money on the appropriate reinforcements for Ange Postecoglou. But as far as Kane's transfer to Bayern is concerned, I don't really see how people can believe that the club wanted to to sell Kane at this point in the season. Do people really believe that? Right? Like, I blame Daniel Levy for a lot of things, and rightly so. He is the cause of a lot of wrongdoing at our club, right? But Bayern Munich are escaping a lot of blame here for faffing about all summer, knowing that this was their number one target. They messed us about. They messed us about. They messed us about, right? And now, whilst whilst it's not ideal, our first game of the season to lose our best striker, it's not ideal. But in my head, we were always going to lose Harry Kane anyway this summer. I've been saying this for months now. I believe he's gone this summer. I believe he's gone this summer. And I believe that the club would sell him if a sizable bid that befitted our asking price was submitted, because the player had already signaled his intent that he wanted to leave, right? The only condition Harry Kane stays at Spurs, and I believe that he would stay at the club beyond the next summer, was if he signed a new deal. And that was never going to happen. Because let's be real, the likely scenario was Harry Kane would have stayed for one more year and would have left on a free transfer to a club of his choice. And let's be real, if Bayern Munich, who had never spent more than 80 million euros, are committing 120 million pounds for Harry Kane with 1 year left on his deal, total package, what on earth do people think that the bigger clubs or the clubs just as big as Bayern in Europe would do? Genuinely. What do people think Real Madrid will be thinking next summer on a free transfer? Man United will be thinking. Chelsea will be thinking. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? PSG will be thinking. Bayern again. European elites with money to spend in terms of giving this guy wages will offer him the world next summer. Right? I would have been happy for one more season with Harry Kane. I've said that a million times. I would have been. But my preference has always been to sell him this summer. Always been. Because it makes the most sense. This is a player that had no intention of staying beyond next summer. So it made no logical sense, right, to keep him, knowing that there are teams that are willing to make bids to actually take Harry Kane away from the club this summer. It didn't make any sense. But yes, I agree. When we're talking about ENIC, they have failed this club. They have failed Harry Kane. But in terms of the timings for this deal, I don't really think you can put that on the club. I'm sorry, you can't. Blame Bayern Munich for wasting our time and not making this bid 3-4 weeks ago. At the very least, we actually have a sizable amount that we can reinvest back into the team. In theory, I want to see Spurs go out and get someone like a Tapsoba, if that's who you wanted. I want to see us go out and get someone like a Gift Orban, if that's who you wanted. Heck, I want to see you be more ambitious. Try and bid for Kolo Muani. Obviously, he's going to go to PSG, who have got the Champions League football, Parisian appeal, etc., etc. I think he used to play for the academy. I get it, but be ambitious. You've got money to spend. Be ambitious with it. Don't lose Kane in vain. That's my thing. Do not lose Harry Kane in vain. Yeah? Don't lose him in vain. Right? That's my second point. We can't just stand still with this cash. Daniel Levy and ENIC can't just put this money in their pockets. You have to reinvest. At least make his loss worth something. They've already driven him out of this club because of their constant need to prioritize funding and money over success, over being competitive. You've already driven him out of the club. Now, with the money that we've been able to receive from him, which is a good amount, very good amount, props to them, right? Use it well. Reinvest into the team. Ange Postecoglou spoken several times at length about needing another centre-back, needing aggressive centre-backs who can play higher up the pitch and are comfortable on the ball, willing to take risks. Bring another one of those centre-backs in. Bring them in. Don't stand still. My slogan for this stream, don't lose Kane in vain. Literally, it's that simple. Do not lose Harry Kane in vain. But anyway, big up to you lot tuning in as well. Please make sure you smash the like button as well. As I said, for those who haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'm so close to 14K, so that would be a nice little treat this weekend if you can get me to 14K. that would be amazing. But as I said, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and make sure your post notifications are turned on for my post-match reaction, which I believe I'll be doing on Monday now instead of the Sunday. Yeah. Okay, let me just go through some chats. Liam Smith, he says, my guy Tobes, I'm the guy on Twitter who said you'd finish 15th. Big up, bro. Still reckon you'll struggle though. Keep up the good work. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's not going to be easy to replace Harry Kane. He's irreplaceable, but we have to evolve. We had to move on from Kane eventually anyway. Nebula says 120 million pounds is a very good deal for us. Absolutely. Can I just say on the price as well, yeah, that is a fantastic fee. And that is the fee that we deserve for Harry Kane, right? I've been saying all summer, sell Harry Kane this summer instead of losing him for free next year. That's the preference. But don't sell him for chump change. I've been arguing with so many people on Twitter. You can check my Twitter. The amount of people that were in my quote tweets and in my comments telling me, oh, you're deluded. You're deluded. Where'd you get off? How dare you ask for more money for Harry Kane? He's got a year left. He's 30 years old. You should be thankful with 75 million. And I've said it time and time and time again. This guy is a bona fide world-class striker. We're talking about top 2, top 3 strikers on the planet minimum. In fact, he's top 1 right now. He's top 1. So they are not just paying for any guy. They're paying for a guy who's guaranteeing 30 to 40 goals, plus the facilitating, plus the playmaking, plus the all-round footballing ability. Left foot, right foot, beast, England captain, Premier League legend, Premier League all-timer, second ever highest Premier League top goal scorer. They're not paying for a schmuck. They're paying for a world-class, elite personified player. Elite. Right? And it shows in his feet. It shows that the club, myself, and every single other fan who was believing Harry Kane's fee were justified because it was always going to be the case. Right? As I said weeks ago, if Bayern don't stump up the cash, fine. Don't stump up the cash. But you know, when it comes to January, teams will shift for Harry Kane. And whilst you might be able to sign him in January, it will be a lot harder to entice him to come to your club now. I mean, come to your club then when the likes of Real Madrid come in, the likes of Man United come in, maybe even the likes of Chelsea come in, etc., etc. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? So when people are saying, oh, accept 75, accept 80, no. I saw Eden Hazard leave with a year left for 130 million to Real Madrid at the age of 28 or 29 years old. I saw Casemiro join Man United last summer for 30. He was 30, going 31 for close to 65 million pounds. Don't tell me what is a fair price for Harry Kane. No. If it's less than 100 million pounds, it's not a fair price for Harry Kane, right? The price we're willing to take, the price I was willing to take is 90 to 95. Let's be real. That's the price I was willing to take, but that's not the price that is fair for Kane. A fair price is 100 million pounds or above. He is worth that. That is the caliber of player we're talking about. So it was only right that Bayern Munich stumped up the cash. 120 million pounds with a year left on his deal. Fair. Can't really ask for any more than that when it comes to Harry Kane leaving the club. For a player that was already going to leave, right? That was already going to leave next summer. The fact that we now get 120 million that we can reinvest into the team now, and he's not in England, so he doesn't have to play against us or play for a direct club rival, and he gets to fulfill his aims of trying to win silverware and trying to compete for the honors in the Champions League. Everyone wins. I mean, everyone wins apart from Spurs, right? Apart from Spurs fans, should I say. Everyone wins apart from Spurs fans. We're the real losers because we are losing a player of Kane's caliber. But you get my point. You get my point. You get my point anyway. But yeah, do not let the Harry Kane money go to vain. Don't let Harry Kane leave in vain. Yeah? Don't lose Harry Kane in vain. That's it. Let me just go through some more comments. Let's see. Raz JD says, even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I just wanted to see Kane playing under a proper system and a proper service again. I had him outscoring Haaland if he stayed. Yeah, man. He would have cooked on the Ange Postecoglou. He would have, with Maddison behind him as well. But unfortunately, that's life. That's life, man. It's sad. Honestly, there's a video going around. I think it was produced by JRZ Productions. I think he's a Spurs fan. Big up him as well. He put a compilation of Harry Kane from his debut season, breakout season, to obviously the end of last season, right? And he covered it with Adele Fire Fire to the Rain. Is it Fire to the Rain or Fire in the Rain? Yeah, Fire to the Rain. Set fire to the rain. And mate, like that shit gave me a pit in my stomach, honestly, like watching it, and you're just thinking, wow, I've actually watched this guy come through the ranks at Spurs and become a world star, elite star, and now he's leaving, right? Obviously, there'll be more streams that I'll do as the days go by when Harry Kane leaves, etc., and it's confirmed. But honestly, it's been a privilege. Yeah, it's been a privilege watching this guy play for Tottenham. It really has. I have no bad or ill feeling towards Harry Kane. I want him to succeed. Yeah, Kane going to Bayern is just going to make me like Bayern more. I've been to Bayern. I remember I went to Bayern in 2015 to watch the Audi Cup friendly. I think it was us, Bayern, AC Milan, and Real Madrid. So I was there for a couple of days, innit? And I remember buying a Thomas Müller Bayern top, right? I'm sure you lot have seen it in one of my streams from many, many years back. I'm going to be buying another top. I'm going to be buying a top with Harry Kane. I'll be real, right? I support Spurs, but I like Harry Kane and I respect what he's done for this club. He's been an unbelievable servant, right? Unbelievable servant, club legend. And for me, the best player to play for Tottenham in my lifetime. Easy peasy, right? So Kane, it's been a privilege. It's been an absolute privilege watching this guy put on Tottenham Hotspur colours and play for our club. It's been a privilege, man, honestly. And my only sadness with this, on top of the fact that he's leaving, is one, we didn't get to see him play a full season as our club captain. Two, we didn't really get to see him play with Maddison. And three, we didn't get to see him win silverware at this club. Now, I understand that, of course, Kane did let himself down in moments for Spurs where there was an opportunity to win silverware. But I also believe that in some of these moments, there were caveats. Him playing at 50% fitness, 10% fitness, etc., etc. I've always felt the criticism, although valid in certain cases, has always been harsh, right? One player alone is not responsible for winning trophies. However, yes, in some of these moments, our better players didn't turn up. And unfortunately, that's a small black mark on Harry Kane that I will never use against him, right? Harry, thank you. It's been an honor. Honestly, it's been an honor. Don't care about no finals, etc., etc. It's been an honor. And I really hope that he goes to Bayern, he crushes it, he wins multiple league titles, and he wins the Champions League. That I hope he wins the lot there. Honestly, I wish him nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Superb player. Superb. Anyway, let me just go through some more comments. Big up Arpoov as well with the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, Eze taps over Orban is a must now. Thoughts on going for Anguissa as a replacement for Hojbjerg? Anguissa's good. I think Anguissa could be a good signing for Spurs. I didn't even realize we were linked with Anguissa. And I don't actually think Napoli will sell him for cheap as well. I can't see them selling him for cheap. Yeah, I can't see that. But I agree. I think the club have identified targets, first choice targets. Go get those targets. Go get those targets. You have £100 million in your pocket. Go get those targets. Obviously, the 20 millions is an add-on, so we don't have that money yet. But for all intents and purposes, Spurs are guaranteed 100 million from this deal. So you have, in theory, 100 million to spend. Yes, I'm not naive. Some of that money has probably been spent already because they anticipated Kane leaving. However, go and get us those players. No excuses now. We have We have 3 weeks left before the window closes. So all this talk on Spurs leaving it late, etc., etc. Yes, I get it. It's an inconvenience for it to happen on the eve of our first Premier League game. But bigger picture, we've got 3 weeks of the window left to bring in another centre back, to bring in another striker if necessary, and we make the sales and Ndombele and Højbjerg, and there is an appetite to bring another midfielder, then do it, right? I'm fine if we don't, right? I'm calm with our options for this season only, and we can prioritize that next summer. But with the money that we've obtained for Kane, do it. Do all 3 if you can, right? Do not let this Kane departure go in vain, right? Do it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple. Who else? Let me just go through some more comments as well before I move on to the next topic. Eden Carr says, you can't blame Bayern for negotiating. They should have accepted it earlier to reinvest. They do this to keep the money. I don't know what this means. Accepted what? Accepted what? I don't blame Bayern for negotiating. I blame Bayern for leaving it until the last for leaving it until the week leading up to our first game to finally put down the bid that that befits our Harry Kane status and comes basically close or matches our asking price. That's what I blame Bayern for. They've had 2 months to do this. Bayern have been speaking to Harry Kane for 2 months. 2 months. So let's not really do this whole you can't blame Bayern for negotiating. Nobody blames Bayern for negotiating. I blame Bayern for dragging it out and wasting our time with those cheap ass bids to begin with. King's Football Show says, questions have to be asked why there was no clear planning without Kane. Spurs knew he wanted to leave since 2 years back. I think you're right, but I don't think that is the full story. I think Spurs signed Richarlison for 60 million, and I think a view was that he would also be an option at striker, as we're seeing now. And I think this summer you've seen already Spurs, even before the deal was agreed, Spurs had already identified targets like Gift Orban. I'm not even trying to get into the business of sticking up to Spurs because they're really bad at planning. But yeah, I don't think that there isn't a plan here. I think there clearly is a plan in terms of a list of strikers that we want to sign to replace Harry Kane. But yes, you're right. Planning for Tottenham in general is a bit leave it. It's very, very higgy haggle. Very higgy haggle. Yeah. Rob, bro, you're saying don't lose Kane in vain like Spurs ever had a plan without him. Listen, if this is the Rob who I think it is, big up to you, bro. I'm going to the gym in approximately an hour or so. Yeah, bro. I'm asking the club who have let us down in years gone by without a plan to replace Alderweireld, Eriksen, Vertonghen to somehow all of a sudden make Kane's departure worth something. Yes, I know it's a tall order, but it's what they have to do. Whether they do it is a different question, right? I don't have full belief that they'll do it, but I'm just telling you what has to be done, right? We already know that this is an ownership that's not fit for purpose, but after losing Harry Kane, there is nothing, what's the word I'm looking for, right? This is the bare minimum. After losing a player of Kane's standing and caliber to this squad with the money that they've received, this is the bare minimum. After all the mistakes they've made in years gone by, right? This is the bare minimum. They have to do this. They have to do this. Big up Rob again. He says, we've got £65 million player on the bench. All this ownership cares is about getting money back they spent on this window. We are not getting no one. Nah, man. We have to get people, bro. If they don't get no one, then further indictment on why they're not fit for purpose. But we already know they're not fit for purpose. Right now, we have this money. We need to spend it. We absolutely need to spend it. Terry Wright, big up. He says, Kane wanted to go. The club simply could not let him leave on a free. Now it's time to spend this money wisely. Agreed. Whether they do it is a different question, but they have to try. They have to try. People, 320 of you, 22 of you lot in here. As I said, folks, for those who haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'm like 90 subscribers away from 14K. Please make sure you smash the like button if you ain't smashed the like button already. Turn your post notifications on if you ain't turned your post notifications on already. And as I said, look out for some of the upcoming streams I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to be doing one for Brentford post-match reaction. I'm just not sure if I'm going to be doing it on Sunday because I'm going to be out. So I'll probably do it on Monday, midday or 1 p.m. So look out for that. The board are full of strugglers. Yep, this is definitely the Rob I know. You're right. Complete strugglers. KG says, give us 30 million and we'll talk about Bamford. Yeah, right, man. That guy stinks. Horrible strike. Yeah, I don't know why my internet is moving, Higgy. Can you lot see me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you're struggling to hear me and see me. I don't know why it's done that, but yeah. Yeah. Bamford, man said Bamford. Patrick Bamford. Is my Wi-Fi struggling? Let me know. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, no, I'm good. They said I'm good. All right, cool. That's my talk on Harry Kane for now. Obviously, there's going to be more chat as the developments continue. But let's actually get back onto Brentford, man, because in the midst of all this chaos, all this uncertainty with our striker situation, right? We need to talk about what's going to happen next. And the immediate concern is Brentford. Now, I've not listened to Ange Postecoglou's press conference. I think he was meant to have a press conference at 1. I think, in fact, he's having his press conference now. So let me even just quickly go on Twitter and see what he's had to say on their situation. Let's see. Okay. Ange Postecoglou press conference. So it's not even started yet. So Thomas Tuchel was asked about it in his press conference, and he said, let me even share my screen with you so you lot can see what I'm talking about. Let me share screen. Here we go. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. So it says, we are working on it intensely. That much I can confirm. As of right now, no agreement has been reached. And when no agreement has been reached, then a coach will not comment on it because it is not his player. Fairs. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if Alistair Gold has tweeted anything else about Ange. I don't think he has. So that press conference is going ahead at the moment. So I don't know what Ange is saying. But as I said, people, smash the like button if you ain't smashed the like button already. Hit the subscribe button if you ain't hit the subscribe button already as well. Yeah. What next? Well, we've spoken about the money. So it's obvious that the club needs to sign some players. Centre-back, striker, bare minimum. And the nice to have is a midfielder. Right? But thinking of Brentford ahead, when we think of what next after Harry Kane, the man that I put in my photo for the thumbnail is Richarlison. Because whilst we know and acknowledge that we need to sign another striker, we have a £60 million attacker amongst the ranks, right? And this is a guy who will now be given an opportunity under Ange Postecoglou, and he needs to seize this opportunity. He does. So when we talk about what happens next, it's not just about Richarlison seizing his opportunity. It's about sharing the load between every single player, right? Richarlison, we need to see 15 Premier League goals minimum this upcoming season. Kulusevski, I want to see more goal-orientated actions. I want to see him hungry for more goals. He needs to get more goals. I want to see him aim for double figures in the league this season, 10 Premier League goals. Son, I want to see him get back to his usual scoring ways, get up to the 15s, the 16s, the 17s. Maddison, I want to see you replicate what you do for Leicester. Give us the double figures in goals, get the assists, right? Whoever's playing as the right 8, the right 8. When you're making those runs into the box, chip in with maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 goals, similar to what Bentancur did last season when he was given license to roam further forward. Lo Celso, when you come into the team, impress, give us a couple goals off the bench, right? The attacking wing backs or fullbacks, sorry, Destiny, when you get the opportunity in the box, take it. Porro, when you get the opportunity in the box, take it. Even Emerson, when you get the opportunity in the box, take it. We have to spread the burden across the team. We have to, right? Relying on one player to bring in the bulk of goals, it's just not going to work for Spurs at this point in time. We need to be much more responsible and move back to a multifunctional attack. That was when we were at our best with Pochettino. We had Harry Kane scoring the majority of the goals, of course, but we also had Son hitting 20 goals. We had Dele hitting close to 15 goals. We had Eriksen hitting 10 plus goals, no comps. We even had a point where Lucas Moura was scoring goals. We had goals in the team. We had goals in the side, right? Everyone needs to step up. It's far too simplistic to look at it as, oh, Kane has left Tottenham, so that means without his 30 goals, Spurs are going to be 15th, 16th. Listen, there's going to be a drop-off. Absolutely. There's going to be a drop-off in terms of the caliber of player that we have in our arsenal, right? But it also puts more onus on other players to perform. It gives the spotlight to others to step up. And now is the time for the likes of Richarlison to step up. Gift Orban, if he gets signed, or whoever the striker is that gets signed at the club target, come in, give us some goals. When you're called upon, give us some goals off the bench. Get close to double figures in the league. Do it. Right? We've brought in a manager to play an attacking style. So the attacking style should, in theory, lend to Spurs creating more chances, which in theory should allow Spurs to score more goals. Of course, we don't have a sharper shooter as Kane anymore. Richarlison is nowhere near as good a finisher as Kane, right? Vélez is a 19-year-old kid. Kulusevski is not as good a finisher as Kane. The only player in our team who can chat to Kane from a finishing perspective is Son. We need to share the burden. We absolutely need to share the burden. We do. Okay, so Zarspers has said this. Ange Postecoglou and Harry Kane. I understand the deal is imminent. It looks like the future of the club is without Harry. Where are you lot seeing these quotes? Let me see. Where are you lot seeing these quotes? Is it on Twitter? So if I go on Spurs Express, yeah, there we go. Let me just quickly go on Spurs Express. Yep. So Spurs Express, let me just share my screen so you lot can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So Ange said, I had a conversation with Harry I had a conversation on Harry on day one and we were both up front. I got the indication that if both clubs agreed, he would go, which lends to the point that has always been said. This guy was always intending to leave Tottenham. Always. But anyway, it's sad. It's sad, but yeah. Like, we can't just stand still. That's the problem. We can't just stand still, lick our wounds and be like, well, it's us. We have to move on. We have to move on. Right? And what type of future that is for Spurs depends entirely on the club and the players that they bring in for Ange Postecoglou. Right? So yep, here we go. I had a conversation. So yep, that's the first quote. He said, I understand the deal is imminent. It looks like the future of the club is without Harry. He then says, see, we've been planning for this. It's fair to say for a while. It doesn't take too much investigative work to realize that this was going to happen. A lot of our business so far has been with this in mind. It doesn't change my plans dramatically. Because he was always going to leave. This is it. Nail on head. And fair play to Ange Postecoglou. He's been dealt a shit sandwich. He has, right? But he's taken this on the chin and he seems like a man who's determined to make it work with or without Harry Kane, right? So fair play to him. Fair play to him. Yeah. But yeah, players got to step up. Now, focusing on Brentford themselves, like we know of their quality. We know of Brentford's quality, right? Every single time we go to their ground, we struggle to impose ourselves. We've scored 2 goals in 2 games, and both goals were scored last season. One was a header from Harry Kane, and the other was, I can't remember who scored the second. It was Højbjerg. Really good strike from Højbjerg. But the first season we went there was a mess. We should have lost. And our most recent game against Brentford was a loss. We lost the game 3-1. We were all over them in the first half, and second half completely collapsed, and they beat us 3-1. So this is not a team that we have to take. This is a team, that we have to take seriously. Every Premier League game is serious, but this game is serious. It's their first home game of the season, right? Obviously, both sides are going to be without their best strikers. Ivan Toney is serving a ban, which ends in January. And obviously, Harry Kane is off to Bayern, right? So both sides are looking at each other thinking, yeah, your big guns aren't here, so we'll fancy our chances against you. But we cannot disrespect Brentford. We have to respect them. Mbeumo destroyed our left-hand side at our ground, and that's something that we need to worry about, right? Destiny, if it is him that's selected, he needs to be wary of that running behind, right? Looking at the type of team Brentford are, and looking at how Ange Postecoglou wants to set up, I expect that we will control the majority of possession, right? I expect that we will try and push Brentford. We will try and pin Brentford back. We'll try and push our defensive line high, but that will leave a lot of space behind, and it's going to leave it especially on the flanks. And that's where we've been vulnerable in pre-season. For all the good work, that's where we've been vulnerable. And Mbeumo on that right-hand side, that spells danger, and that spells danger that we need to account for. Sorry, but Ben Davies, he cannot play this game. I know that it's a lot to ask to throw a new signing into the firing line in such a difficult game, probably one of the more difficult away games in the Prem for Spurs in recent seasons, right? But Ben Davies cannot start this game. He just can't. Mbeumo had his way with Ben Davies in the fixture a couple of months back. He can't play. He absolutely has to be dropped. And Mickey van der Ven must start. Sorry, Mickey van der Ven must start. He has to start. Sorry, he has to start. Like, there's no way on earth we can afford to not account for Mbeumo's pace and power on that side. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think we can. I don't think we can afford to do that. I don't think we can afford to do that. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, we can't. We can't. So, yeah, for this one, we just need to be wary. We need to be wary of the threat that they possess. Yoane Wissa, if he starts, he's an accomplished finisher, right? Jay Da Silva, tricky player in the midfield, right? Luckily for us, Norgard looks like he might not be able to play. That's a good player. But we need to be wary of the likes of Janelt as well. I think he's the one that scored against us last season. Midfield need to be wary of those runs into the box. Brentford, very physical side. If they go long, we know that obviously without Ivan Toney, they no longer have as much aerial prowess, right, to go long and to win the ball. We need to take advantage of that. Whoever's going to be playing in the middle is not going to be able to win the aerial duels or pin our defenders back as well as Toney. We need to take advantage of that if that's their tactic. But I imagine they'll switch things up because I feel like Thomas Frank is a good enough manager, right? We just need to be wary, man. We really do. Richarlison as well. It looks like he's going to be fit to play, right? He needs to just not lose his head or lose his cool, right? Because he's coming up against centre-backs who are quite physical, who are strong aerially. When you look at Ben Mee and Ethan Pinnock, like they are in the higher percentile when it comes to aerial duels completed, right? They win the majority of their aerial duels. So it's gonna be tricky for Richarlison, but he has to persist, right? If this style is gonna work, we need Richarlison to not give those centre-backs a moment of peace, right? Yeah, we need those centre-backs to not be what's the word I'm looking for? We need those centre-backs to be restless, and that's what Richarlison needs to do. Work, occupy the spaces, right? Pin them back, create space for others. Even if he's not successful in his pursuits on Sunday, at the very least, his work can create space for one of our midfielders or Maddison, right? Keep at it, because it's going to be difficult, right? And they signed Collins as well, Nathan Collins, right? For me, he's a good defender. I've always liked him from a defensive point of view. I think on the ball he's lacking a little bit, but defensively he's good. Aerial and ground duels, he's good. So we're not coming up against a team that are just going to open up for Tottenham. They're going to be very disciplined. So we just need to persist in the style of play, persist in the hard work, and let's see what comes out of it. Yeah? Let's see what comes out of it. Right? Let me just go through some comments as well. Big up Terry, right? He says, no chance Porro is starting over Royal. Porro is a huge liability defensively. I'm going to get onto the starting lineup shortly. So 1.01 says, thank goodness for them, though, that they at least have a head coach who will embrace the challenge of the rebuild. This is it. His attitude to this is positive, right? With Nuno, it was just a defeatist attitude. I had no expectation for this season in a negative way. And to be honest, I don't really have any like huge expectations for Ange this season, but I'm just optimistic. Okay, maybe you'll say that my expectation of fifth on the Big Six was, my prediction of fifth on the Big Six was optimistic. But even if we don't finish fifth, it's not really going to make a shred of difference to me this season, right? I believe in what the manager's trying to do, so I'm going to give him the opportunity to do so, right? T.Yasmin says, Postecoglou and whether he tried to convince Kane to stay. I didn't see the point in that. Whatever I was going to say was going to be irrelevant. In my mind, I thought he'd already decided to go. There you go. There you go. But anyway, on a positive note, I'm really looking forward to seeing Maddison. Put on Spurs colours in a competitive game on Sunday. I can't wait for that. Absolute baller. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I love it, man. In the process of trying to pin Brentford back, we're actually going to have someone who's going to be operating in between the lines who isn't Harry Kane. And then also as well, I feel like Kulusevski, it's a big game for you as well. Obviously, it's a big season for Kulu, because last season, the second half of the campaign was pants. First half, he had these injury problems, but he looked good when he played. Second half, pants, and most importantly, get those numbers up. Not just the performances, get the performances and get the numbers up. He's going to be up against Rico Henry today, who's faster than Kulusevski. So Kulu is going to have to be very tricky in the 1v1 situations, because he will get the ball in 1v1 situations on Sunday as a result of the tactic. You need to be clever in your attempts to beat this guy, because he's not going to be done by pace, and he's not exactly a bad defender as well. Rico Henry is a good player. But let's go, man. Let's see what we can do. Now, starting 11s before I end the stream. Yeah, starting 11s. For me, I think it picks itself with exception of two positions. Yeah. I think it picked itself with exception of two positions, right? The goalkeeper picks itself. Vicario starts. Romero picks himself, starts at right centre-back. For me, it's a no-brainer. Mickey has to start at left centre-back. Has to, but that's one of the two positions. In fact, no, that isn't. Mickey has to start at left centre-back. Destiny, for me, has to start at left back, right? And then right back is one of the two positions, right? Pedro Porro started what? Two of our four. In fact, no. Pedro Porro started what? 3 of our 4 pre-season matches. But I think it's fair to say this type of fixture, we got to start with Emerson. Pedro Porro is just really bad defensively. I feel like Emerson gives us that balance, right? He gives us that defensive balance. So he will start. I expect Ange Postecoglou to pick Emerson to start at right back against Brentford on Sunday, just because of the nature of the type of game, tough away fixture, etc., etc. When we're at home and we're playing up against similar opposition or lesser opposition, then I would expect Pedro Porro to play. But away from home, he's going to go with safety over panache, and I feel like Emerson will start for that reason. Defensive midfield picks itself. It picks itself. Let's be real. Basuma, fantastic preseason, fit, raring to go. He goes straight into the number 6. And then obviously Maddison takes the left 8 role or the 10 role, whatever you want to call it. So then really and truly, that leaves the right central midfield role. Now, for me, I'm picking Sarr. I'm picking Sarr every day of the week to start this. But I can understand why Ange Postecoglou would be tempted to pick Skip, because obviously Skip has shown the capability to make those runs into the box and score those goals better than Sarr did in pre-season. However, Sarr with the ball is just much better than Skip. He protects the ball better. He's way more agile. He can dribble with the ball better, and he's just as good defensively. So me personally, I would like to see Sarr start, and I think he is going to go with Sarr. And then, of course, I've spoken about the front three. The front three picks itself, man. It really does. Son out on the left, Richie up top, Kulusevski on the right. Now, I think Ange Postecoglou shouldn't be afraid to make changes if things aren't going in his favor. And what I mean by that is, if we get to the 60th minute, 65 minutes, and Son's not on it, right? Don't be afraid to take him off and bring on someone like Perisic who can actually dribble at someone like Aaron Hickey, right? Don't be afraid to bring on Solomon. Don't be afraid to spruce things up, because I feel like Ange needs to set a precedent here, right? That no one player is bigger than the team. It's a team game. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? Everyone needs to contribute. So if you see one of the better players not performing and you've got the ability to change things off the bench, change him. That was my biggest pet hate with Conte. His changes, the speed in which he made changes, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Same for Nuno. I hated it. So, Ange, please, if you feel it's not going right and you feel you can make some alterations, make those alterations. Make those alterations. Please. Don't just sit there and suffer, right? I don't feel like Ange Postecoglou is a guy who bows to peer pressure, right? He's going to go off what he sees and he believes, right? And if he sees and believes something isn't working, don't feel like you have to persist with it. Change it. Change it. Mind you, listen, he strikes me as the type of guy with the mentality that he will change things if he's not pleased with it, just by the way he speaks and the way he's carried himself so far. So listen, let's see what he can do, man. Let's see what he can do. It's a big season for Ange. It's a big season for Tottenham. Ange, he's still unproven in the Prem. I like him. I'm rooting for him, but he's still an unknown quantity in the Prem. So he has to come in and mash work. So let's see what he can do, man. Anyway, people, make sure you smash the like button, please. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel as well. As I said, nearly at 14K. I'm like 90 or 80 away. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn your post notifications on as well, and smash the like button as well. I'm just going to go through some more comments and then we're going to wrap up this stream. So Kieran says, Ange plays with no fear. He won't wait an age to make mid-game adjustments like Conte and Jose. Once there's an issue, he will rectify. I'm with that. Mohit says, as I feared, Tobes, the Kane money has already been spent. I am done with this board. That would be a disgrace if true. But as I said, I don't doubt that they've spent some of the Kane money, but they can't have spent all of it. There's no way on earth we lose Harry Kane and we don't bring anyone in, or we don't bring in another good centre-back. Impossible. Impossible. If that happens, then someone's house needs to be bricked. I'm not going to lie. In fact, let me not say that. I take that back. If that happens, all hell needs to break loose. Yeah? All hell needs to break loose. Right? Football ad 731 says, forgot about Solomon. This guy's a baller. Goals in the Champions League and for country, he could. Okay. Joseph says absolutely agree, Tobes. I'm assuming that's in regards to the rotation and making changes. Bridzi says Saar, Basuma, and Gio. Nah. Lo Celso starting over Madison. Nah, come on, man. Come on. Lo Celso starting. Nah. He'll be on the bench. He'll be on the bench. If man like Lo Celso get their chance, they got to take it. They got to take it out. Me personally, I would have sold Lo Celso this window, but the manager wants to keep him. So now, Lo Celso, please deliver. Please rise. Please. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, let's end it on match predictions, right? So we can keep this to the hour. I'm gonna go for 2-2. I'm gonna go for 2-2. I feel like this is gonna be a draw. I'm very cautious of Brentford away. Honestly, like it's not an easy game for Tottenham. And granted, we're coming to Brentford this season to play a completely different style to the style that we have played in the last 2 seasons. So we'll be looking to pin Brentford back from the jump, right? And it could work in our favor in terms of the attacking intent that we show on the day, but it could also potentially work against us in terms of the threat that it leaves behind. And as we've seen, Brentford are very devastating counter-attacking side in the Prem. So it's tricky. It's tricky. I think there's going to be goals. So I'm going to go for a draw. I would love a win, but I'm going to go for a draw. And unfortunately, I can actually see either side winning here. I can see Brentford beating us on Sunday. I can see Spurs beating Brentford, but I'm going to go for a draw. But what do you lot think? Let me know your thoughts. I'll pop it up now. So Terry Wright says 2-2 draw. Ross says 2-1 Spurs. Sol says 3-2 Spurs, a barnstorming start. Listen, I love your optimism, bro. Sammy, big up Sammy. I'll hit you up after this. He says 2-2. Oh, no, he says I'm going 2-1 Brentford. Tiz says I can see all outcomes happening now, bro. Pick one. So can I, but you got to pick one. Cash says, I'm not a fan of Per Schurz. He does not excite me. I don't even know who this guy is. In fact, that's a lie. I do. I remember his name years back, but I've not really been watching him. Apparently, he plays for Torino now, so I actually need to do some research on him. Just go sign Tapsoba, please. Just go and sign Tapsoba. Rowan says, Velis off the bench. Tiz says 3-2. Ashanti says 3-1 Brentford. I think that's enough match predictions for me. But people, as I said, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for the views, for the support, for the comments. For those who are watching and you're not live, please leave a comment in the comment section. I do respond to comments. Let me know your thoughts on the preview. Let me know your thoughts on Kane. Let me know your thoughts on the goal scoring, etc., etc. Let me know your thoughts on Ange Postecoglou. Let me know your thoughts on everything, right? But until then, a couple things for me. Please smash the like button if you ain't smashed it already. Please subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed already. Let's get me to 14K. Please turn your post notifications on, not just for my stream next Monday, but the THFC show is going to be back next week. So you don't want to miss that. And as I said already, the Big Six, make sure you're subscribed to the official Big Six channel as well. Tuesday, in the words of these Twitter neeks, bomba. It's going to be a bomba episode, yeah? So until then, people, take care, bless up, and enjoy your weekend.